Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen, where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air, testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks. We'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with ease. So if your meetings lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We've got your back, no wreck. We've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in the fun, engaging way.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen. Good to have you here. Good to see all my friends here. Yes, the live streaming app is working today. I don't know why, but it decided to work today. And boy, oh boy, have things changed in Zoom land. There's whole new interfaces and settings menus and lots of things to explore today. Let's just quick go around the horn and say hello to everyone, like to my friend Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Doing good, David.
Good. Who else is here? Mr. Peter Sargent. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to everyone.
And good night. Hey, did any of you see my waiting room guy? Did I leave you in there long enough to see and hear my waiting room guy?
I played him for about a few milliseconds before you brought me in, David.
See, that's the problem. I need to stop letting people in so quickly. I'm used to letting.
I saw the mouth move, but no sound. Was there sound?
There is sound, but the thing with waiting rooms is you have to manually unmute it.
Oh.
you can't set
There's a
it
little
to-
speaker down there with an X through it in
yeah,
red.
in the bottom right corner. I was actually thinking of, I may redo it and put a little arrow jumping up and down saying, click this.
I think I'll leave and come back and hang out in the waiting room for a while.
Well, it's all Tony Mobley's fault. Hello, Tony Mobley.
Hello, David and Zoom Test Kitchen family. Happy to be here.
Good to see you, Tony. Good to see you. One of our regulars now. So nice to have you here.
Thanks, David. It's really good to be among all my tech friends after an update that went south. But anyway.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, we'll have to hear about that.
Maybe not. So grateful to be here.
Oh, no. We had a little bit of that with Lois last night, actually. But we'll get into that. We'll take a look at all that. And you heard her voice before, but hi, Lois. Just saying an official hi to you.
Hi, officially, yes.
Hi, officially. Hi, Hasmik. How are you, sir?
Good evening from a very cold Cape Town.
It
And
looks warm and toasty. You kidding me?
Yeah. So I'm very happy that the meters got discharged from hospital. They seem to be healthy this evening.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Good. Good health is always the most important thing. After good health comes a big old light dome like the one John Drinkwater has right above his head. A couple, actually.
I have three, yes, two white ones and one colored one.
Yeah, that black one's pretty. I like it. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. And if people want to get to the waiting room, I have a new way to get them there.
Okay, wait a second. We'll come back to that. Let me just say a quick hello to Frank. How you doing, Frank?
Hello, how are you?
Good. It's good to see you. You want to tell us real quick I know how to kick people into the waiting room if that's what you want to do. Did you find something new, John?
Yes, I spent 24 hours in a rabbit hole on behalf of, shall we say, the community out there that supports people that like to be anonymous and likes to run open meetings and gets all sorts of people turning up. Because the latest fad is to turn on and off your hand raised, so you bounce across the screen.
Wait a second. What?
It's a kind of Zoom bombing. The Zoom bombers raise their hands repeatedly and rapidly using a script or something, and it makes the whole gallery shuffle, and it's quite disconcerting.
And
in fact, you don't
annoying.
even need to install a script because it's one of the hotkeys you can enable in settings.
Wow.
That's the bad news. The good news is I was inspired on Wednesday night at the developers forum, which we have every month for Zoom developers. And I wrote a app. Actually, I didn't. I wrote 4 different versions, but eventually I ended up with an app, which very simply counts the number of times you put your hand up in a certain time scale. And if you break the rules, it then asks the owner of the account to kick you either to the waiting room or straight out of the meeting.
Wow. Where is that app?
It's on my machine, and due to the way that Zoom works, even though this isn't my account, if I was a co-host, I could run it for you.
Well, we are not making you a co-host. No, I'm just kidding.
Come on. You know I want to see it. I'll raise my hand a zillion times.
Do you want to, John? Do you want me to make you a co-host?
If you'd like to. If you don't, it just doesn't allow me to kick anybody because obviously I've got to be a co-host to do the operation.
Okay, so we can kick people to the waiting room, but don't kick anyone out of the meeting because then.
No, I'll choose. It's not a report kick. It's just a normal kick.
Gotcha.
And then
Okay.
let me be there for a couple of seconds so I can look at your.
Watch the stupid video. Right. Okay.
Okay, so I am actually tracking at the moment. I've got the tracking time for 10 seconds and I've got the threshold at 5 raises. And am I co-host?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going up and down.
I've just refreshed it because it doesn't realize it's a co-host.
It's amazing, making me seasick.
Okay, I have. Lord Zoom demo app is trying to put Lois Richer into the waiting room, and if I hit allow, she goes.
Okay, that's the best
All
news
right.
in
Now,
the world.
sorry it didn't work the first time because, of course, you made me co-host and I'd already started running the app, so it didn't know. But I'll do a very, very simple screen share to show you the very simple app that I've written.
Go ahead, Frank. Jump in. Or
I
we
think
might
it's
get kicked
I think
out.
it's awesome that John's created what he's created. I don't understand. It's been a request for a long time now for the host controls to lower all hands and lock hand raising as a security feature, and for whatever reason, Zoom hasn't implemented it, and I don't understand why it's taking them so long to recognize this.
You
No,
can do both of those things, just not in one.
you
in one
can
click.
you can stop people from raising their hands in webinars. You can't do it in meetings.
You can't.
And we had this discussion on Wednesday night in the developers forum. We went through all the things. We talked about all the different ways that Zoom bombers annoy people, and most of the others are covered if you get your settings right. But this one wasn't, so you can see the simple
people from raising their hands. Interesting. I had no idea.
So you can see the simple app here. I can set a number of seconds that I want the time window to work, so I can make it, more robust or less. I can choose a number of raises, and then I can choose whether they go to kick or the waiting room. And if somebody does it, their IDs will appear here. And when they get to the threshold, I get the pop-up box because I've got to confirm as the user. It doesn't just kick them. I get the confirm box to say, kick this person. If I say yes, they're kicked either to the waiting room or. The other option I thought would have was to have a breakout room open and send them to a naughty step in the breakout room, which is of course another option.
That's nice. But
I think it's a good example of with the API. If we don't have to all the time, we don't have to wait for Zoom to get an update to fix a problem. Yeah. We can actually do it with a bit of code ourselves.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. That's good stuff.
That's okay.
All right. Well, let's start just with I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lois.
I just wanted to report that it worked. It kicked me to the waiting room. I turned on that little unmute the voice, and I listened to David's fake voice. That was a fake voice, wasn't it, David? Or was that you actually speaking?
Voice. No, that was
real. That was you actually speaking? You didn't tell it to do it in your voice?
No, I recorded the audio. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Very.
It was very, very pleasant and very smiley. He just smiled all the time. It's a strange little thing. But I agree. Wait a few seconds when people come into the waiting room and let them see that. But I also agree of changing the thing so it says push that button.
Right. I will say for anyone who's interested in that, Lemon Slice is the app that Tony turned me on to through Ken Jordan, and it's kind of astonishing what it does. I mean, it's not perfect. You could see the hand at one point. There's a random hand that jumps in. That was not my hand. I don't know where it came from. I couldn't get rid of it. But in any case, okay. So, maybe we should just start with, well, let me actually, on this raise hand issue, are you suggesting that a better option is to have raise hand not shown on its own in the toolbar like it used to be, a two-step process, a deterrent at all? That's not what I think. I think having the hand raise thing is good there, but I think what Frank suggested is what we need.
In the host tools.
Yeah, lower all hands and turn it off. That's what I think. Lois, before I come to you, can I just over here in oh shoot, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry. So over here, when I opened this meeting, I got a brand new little friend right up here in my chat window that said chat with AI Companion. AI Companion can answer your questions about this meeting and more. I did not click it because I wanted to see what would happen when I did here in the meeting. So,
and we all do, David.
We all do what?
We all get the pop-ups.
Yes. And when
so we can ask you to do it, but only you can do it, if you get what I mean.
I have no idea what that means.
We get the pop-up saying, do you want to use Companion? And we can't say yes and Companion starts. We have to ask you as the owner of the meeting to start Companion for the meeting.
Oh, okay. So when I clicked it, it automatically started Companion.
Yeah, because it's your meeting.
Right. So I clicked try it out and it just started Companion. What I would really like, just between you, me, and the wall, is because that prompt popped up in chat, I think it would be really cool to have it integrated right into chat. But that's just me. So that I could actually just chat with it. But in any case, Lois, and then we'll get to some of the big changes.
So I want to go back to the hand raise thing. It was my understanding that at some place, and I don't know where, whoa, that's way too hot, let me back that off, that at some place you could choose what to put in the reactions, and you could turn on or off different bits. John, is that not a place where one can turn on and off
You
things
can't
like raise hand?
you can't turn it off, Lewis, unfortunately. And also, they've elevated the reactions to their own box, and they've broken them down into 2 groups. Although it's not, well, actually, it's 3 groups. But if you click on your react button, the first one you have is the be right back at the bottom, and then you have your raise hand. And then you have a section of yes, no, slow down, speed up. Those are a set of reaction buttons seen by Zoom as a response. So if a speaker is speaking, you would use those to agree, disagree, to ask them to speed up, slow down. And they are separate in Zoom's logic of using the site to the normal reactions, which are the ones above that. And then there's the versions with the effect, with the automated animations, which you've just showed off beautifully. And then, of course, you can click on the More button and go and find the other alternative emojis if you've got one missing that you want to add to your list. And if you use an emoji that's not in the list, it then comes on that list. And that becomes one of your default emojis for that meeting. So Zoom has brought them all together, but it's trying to have the raise hand, be right back, the yes, no, go fast, go slow, and I'm away. It's trying to bring them into a more used scenario so that people interact more with speakers using those because they make clear sense, whereas some random emoji might not make sense to anybody when they're having a conversation.
I don't know if it's just me, but I never go into that React thing, and I never use any of those. I don't know. Maybe
It's personal preference. It's like
guess
some
so.
people make text messages that are full of these little
Yeah,
symbols.
I never use emojis.
And
in text
I just
messages
use
either.
words. So
I do too.
personal.
We're so old. Hasmik and Frank, go ahead.
Yeah, I used that but talking about AI and AI that popped up, I used that phone 5th button, the record button, with one of my staffs, a meeting at one-on-one. Of course, I asked them for their permission. I recorded it, and it produced this summary of the meeting and next steps to take. And I just did a little bit of editing, copied it, pasted it in a document, and sent it to the staff, and they were just completely gobsmacked.
Sorry, you used what to do that? The voice recorder?
Uh-huh.
But you can't edit the AI summary unless you export it out and...
Exactly.
Oh, so that's what
Exactly.
you did. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. Great. That's very cool. I'm glad that worked for you. That's fantastic.
Well, yeah, it came into my inbox, so I had it in the inbox, the document.
So you could just
the
copy
summary.
it from there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Gotcha. Wonderful. That's very cool. Frank, go ahead.
So I noticed a new behavior, for me at least, this week. I installed the update, and normally I click on participants, and then I click on chat, and it seemed to it seemed to reorder them on the panels on the left-hand side of my computer screen, depending which order I clicked on those buttons. I think this is probably related to that new half and half panel thing they released for AI, but I've never had that happen before.
So wait, what's the half and half panel? Because I read it.
Remember, you can have the panels on the right-hand side of the Zoom meeting. Now there's an affordance to have an AI window open and participants, or AI window and chat open.
Right. So my problem is I never keep these.
Well, you
things
don't use
attached.
regular Zoom. You're always using Ecamm Zoom.
No,
right?
no, no. But I'm saying no. But so right now I'm in the meeting. But what I mean is I never keep the chat and the stuff pop outs attached.
Oh, I do.
No, of course I understand. I just never do that. So let me reattach them here so that we can. Okay, so that's attached, and now you're saying that if I also.
For the last 3 years, when I clicked participants or chat, participants would always be at the top and then chat would be at the bottom. Today, when I did it, depending on the order I click on them, the one that I click first goes to the top, the one that I click second goes to the bottom.
Yeah, look at that.
Never used to happen that way before.
Yeah.
And if you click the third one, then one of them disappears. But you can overcome this by, as David said, having them popped out.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. It was interesting that the functionality changed the behavior that has been existing since I've been using Zoom for 5 years.
Well, it's because they got a third thing and they have no place to put it.
I know. I'm sure that's why it probably is different now, but it was the first time I noticed it.
It is weird, yeah.
You know, it's interesting. Yeah. I would have been a fan of always having participants at the top and then anything else at the bottom, but that's just me.
You can grab the bar and change the ratio between the two as well.
Right. Is this the half and half, Frank, that you were referencing before, that you were mentioning with AI Companion?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the release notes from last week.
Yeah. So before we even do release notes, though, let's hold on. Now I don't know how to get all this stuff out. So let me move this back up here.
Half and half mode half panel mode is what it's referred to.
Panel mode. Okay. Participants and you know what I just discovered? When you have your Zoom meeting full screen and you open up participants or chat, they automatically open in a detached panel. At least they did for me, which I didn't realize.
It's been that way a long time.
Yeah, it probably has been. I just never realized it. Okay, but can we just jump into the settings here? I mean, so I only discovered this when Lois proved me an idiot last night, and I kept saying to her, no, it's the first option in general. It's the first option. Dual monitors is the first option in general. And it's very much not the first option in general anymore. They moved everything. Starting with color mode, theme, emoji reaction skin tone, your navigation bar. And then it goes down to the workplace app. I don't know why that changed. I want that fast. Pin, Zoom, Wake, plus Mac, OS Dock, yes, I guess. Presence status, Zoom rooms. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here that wasn't here before. They did a ton of reorganizing.
Oh, scroll back down. There's an important one. We talked about it last week a little bit. Clear the Zoom app cache and cookies. That can fix a lot of problems if Zoom's misbehaving. You used to have to do that manually. Now it's built into the app.
Oh, this is great. Some Zoom apps may store data and store cookies locally on this device until manually cleared by you. Zoom lets you manage these settings to free up space and shows you when it was last cleared. That's fantastic. Thank you. Huddles. Fade music when someone is, I guess that's if you're using huddles, it will automatically fade music when someone.
I wonder if I even have that. Like, you signed up for huddles, right?
Yeah.
And I never did. I wonder if I open that, if it'll even be there.
I mean, I'm not.
No, it won't. If you didn't sign up for it.
I don't even remember what I've never I don't remember what that even entailed, signing up for huddles. I don't know that
You told us you had to
I probably just
fill out a form or
emailed them.
something.
Yeah, I emailed them and yeah. So then the next thing they give us is video and effects. And this looks familiar. Everything is that the font is different. Everything is just, to me at least, looks a little crisper.
I'm not sure I like the idea that some of the menus are off screen and you have to press the arrow. If you're not a
Oh yeah.
regular user of Zoom, you may not realize there's more things off the edge of the screen.
Yeah. Now why is that there? Not seeing any. I am seeing video. Why are you doing?
If you can you make it wider so it's all on the same thing? Can you make the window wider?
Yeah, I'll try and do that, but I'm just sorry, but I just found a little bug, I think. Hold on. No, you actually can't make this wider. This is as wide as it goes. You actually cannot adjust the size of this at all.
That's too bad.
Yeah. See, look at that. Whenever I click on the arrow, this helper box comes up, even if I'm not there. Zoom, I found a bug.
Maybe it's because your pointer is so large that it's hitting that as you go.
No, that's not.
Oh,
No.
well.
That's just a halo effect. That's not an anything. Zoom. I want a t-shirt. I found a bug. Okay. Virtual backgrounds, avatars, video filters. This all is probably going to look the same, I assume. Yeah. That all looks the same. Camera. Again, this is all here. None of this is new. Oh, it's still these are what are they called? Anchors. These are not different pages. It's just scrolling you up and down on the page. Okay.
So
Now,
even if you don't find the left right arrows, if you scroll down, you'll see everything.
correct. Exactly. Now in audio, look at this fancy little thing here. That looks nicer than it did before. I don't even remember what it looked like before. Actually, I can pull it up what it looked like before.
It was about half the height, but there was a meter like that before.
There was or wasn't.
There was.
There was
No,
a meter. Yeah.
I can
It
actually
was
show
about
you.
it was skinnier. It was about half the height.
So forgive my screen for being a little messy. Let me try and get rid of some of this stuff.
Why can't they put numbers on the meter?
That would be nice, and we wouldn't have to count how many little squares when we're trying to match somebody.
So for reference, this is what it looked like before. And
Go to the audio page
yeah,
first.
no, I'm going to. So this is audio. So yeah, it's actually not that much different, is it?
No, it's just thicker.
The bars were wider, so it was easy to see how many of those things you were bumping up to.
I kind of like this one better, but maybe it's just.
But I was trying to coach somebody, and I was trying to say your audio should be at 7, and instead I have to say, over 3 slices of green to the right or something.
Yeah,
Just give us some numbers. How hard is that?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And then the audio profile, zoom background noise removal, and then you can choose your level. That's the same as before. Personalized audio isolation. This does not say beta anymore. I'm sorry. I think that said, did that say beta? Hold on, let me look. No, the live performance audio said beta. So if you look over here, this is the old one. Live performance audio had the beta tag. Apparently it's out of beta now.
I think it's too bad that they made you use a pull-down menu to go to choose low, medium, or high. It used to be you saw all 3 of them described and you clicked a radio button.
Yeah, so over here, if I make zoom background noise removal my option, then they're right here. I have those 3, but yeah, the 4 buttons. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Let me see. And then, right, so if you click that, you still get the 3 things here. It's interesting. It's a little interesting to me that they put personalized audio isolation above original sound. I don't know. That just
And then it has to learn your voice before it functions.
yeah.
David, quick question. Any way to get that the new settings window a little bigger just for YouTube audience?
Yeah, I wish I could, but I can't, unfortunately. I'm sorry, YouTube audience. Let me jump out of this.
You'd have to change the resolution of the screen itself.
Yeah, that's
actually bigger than it was.
No, I know. I'm trying to go back and forth between the
Old and
old
new.
version and the new version. Yeah. Now I just closed it. So let me just pull it up again. There we go.
Now, don't try setting your screen resolution while you're in the middle of something.
no,
That's what
I'm not
got me
doing
into trouble last night.
And then we've got what's under advanced is just echo cancellation. Okay.
But they're automatically sync headset buttons. So they're trying to solve that problem because that problem's been around forever.
What does that mean?
Well, the problem is that every time Apple comes out with another set of earphones, they seem to work in a different way. And then Zoom has to sit down and try and work out how to program them so they'll work with Zoom. So there's always one group of Apple users who can't have it working. So at least you've now got the ability to just turn it off and it won't then confuse your system.
Gotcha. I have to stop everything for just a moment because I see Leo Mindell, who hasn't been here forever. Leo.
Hello. I have. Sort
How
of.
you doing?
Not been in here for a while.
No, that's
but
what
I've been around.
Nice to see you.
I've been around. I've been around. I was listening to, your show last night and hearing the nice sounds of Zoom pings and bumps that you somehow let into the show. It's always good.
It's really nice to see you here. Really nice to see you. And Roland, really nice to have you with us also. Okay, back to business.
Back to business.
All right, let's see. Notifications and sounds. I don't know that anything is anything new here. Does anyone know? I mean, there was no notifications and sounds on the old one. Did
you check the advanced in audio?
I did for in the old or new. In both of them, it's just echo cancellation. That's the only option that you have. But we didn't even have a notifications and sounds over here before. We do now. So these are all the desktop notifications. And they've included phone calls in here, upcoming meetings, direct messages. Keywords mentioned, except these group chats and channels. Contacts, wow.
Sorry, David, can I take you back to the audio again?
Yes, I'm sorry, please.
So if you go back to the audio and the advanced
at
the bottom, that is not what I have on mine. Are you in a Mac?
I am.
Okay. On Windows machines, we have 4 sections. We have echo cancellation like you do. We have Windows system audio enhancements, signal processing by Windows audio drivers, and audio capture and playback API. And reading the little info boxes, it looks like this is to try and connect up with professional audio systems.
David, I put a screenshot of that for you in chat.
Thank you. Do you have that and we don't because you're cooler or because we're cooler?
Microsoft versus Apple, your choice.
Yeah. That's what
I thought we weren't going to talk politics on this show.
No.
If I was going to support you, I'd have to go and sit over there with my Mac Studio. But as I'm over here with my Windows PC, I'll take the view that we just like things more complicated over here.
There you go. So this is what it looks like: echo cancellation, Windows system audio. So I think in the old version you also had more options under advanced.
Yes, but I don't think they had the playback APIs,
okay.
which I think
Audio
is
capture and
to do with sound systems.
Yep.
In the acquired notes, if you click on the button that you can't because it's a photo, it does say configuring professional audio settings for Zoom meetings. So I think it's to interface with fancy audio systems. It's the reason they've added these.
Great. Thank you. All right. So we did notifications, meetings and webinars. This is a long list. And I wonder, is this, now again, we didn't have this in the old one. This, I wonder if this was all under general before. No, it's, I don't know. It's,
These are from all over the place.
yeah, they're just all reorganized. So do you want to show your video preview, keep your camera off, keep your microphone off, automatically connect, exit full screen automatically, open selected Zoom apps. Oh, look at this. You can automatically open the apps that you have, I guess, installed. That's kind of nice. Okay. Then you've got your in-meeting and in-webinar experience about dual monitors. Here's the dual monitors has now moved here, Lois, just so you know, for future reference.
We found that last night.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know. I know. Participant names, meeting timer, profile pictures, keep meeting controls. Yeah, this is all not new. My video. Do you want to hide your video from the video gallery? Show me as active speaker, or stop audio and video when computer locks. When your display is turned off and your screen or your screensaver starts during active meeting, Zoom will stop your audio and video. Presumably that's if you walked away. They don't want something bad to happen. And yes, Roland, I think that a search bar makes a lot of sense, given all of these options here. Then you've got your video participant. Do you want to see 25 or 49? I'll just go through this real quick, Lois, and then here are your reactions. So do you want the reactions above the toolbar? Do you want to animate emojis, the hand gestures? So if you go like this or whatever, it'll do things. Play audio tone when someone has raised their hand, and then the leave experience. I want to know what's under advanced. Oh, for the love of God, look at this. Enable stop incoming video feature, reset meeting disclaimers, optimize incoming video quality with super resolution. Oh, these I remember. These are not new. And then hardware. This was all under, I think this is all under video advanced or something like that in the past. Video.
David, the only two that are different for Windows is that we have video processing in the hardware acceleration, and we also have virtual background.
Ah, okay. So these are the same. For the old one, it said optimize quality of the video I send with denoise. Oh, sorry, that's here. They just flipped them. Sorry. In the old version, denoise was on top and super resolution was on bottom. Okay.
Yeah, and we do actually on the Windows side, we have also 3 more for video rendering method, video rendering post-processing, as well as video capturing method.
Great.
That's really interesting. On the mic, on the video rendering, what have you got as an option now? Oh, we can't hear you, Mike.
I had my mic unmuted, sorry. Yeah, video rendering method was auto. For my PC specifically, I have Direct3D 11 flip mode. I also have Direct3D 11, Direct3D 19, and GDI.
So Direct3D is software, if I'm right, off the top of my head, and hope for somebody.
It's taking care. Yeah, you're basically sending it to the actual specific driver.
Have you got does that sound like they're getting to the point of a GPU support on?
Yes.
I don't think Zoom supports GPUs on Windows.
Yeah, they look like they are offloading a lot of it if they can to the GPU now. Yes.
Can you bring up your task manager and see what happens when you flip between the two, if your GPU encode goes up and down?
Sure.
Because this is quite interesting for those who use something like vMix on a PC to then use Zoom. It's always that it's like your CPU gets heavily hit, and I wonder if you can start offloading it.
Yeah, right now I can tell you that I'm averaging between 13 to 16% on my GPU now.
Okay, and
on
if you,
Zoom.
oh right, okay, all right, on your
And
GPU.
yeah, on
Okay.
my GPU. And again, I haven't got like an NVIDIA GPU on specifically on this machine. This is actually just using the Intel based GPU.
Okay. So maybe if there's an NVIDIA in the PC, it will. I'm going to try and get onto a remote machine and see if it's got an NVIDIA card in it and see if it actually has now support for NVIDIA.
Yeah,
I will.
knowing that the Direct 3D is there, chances are, again, we know even with the Intel local one, it actually has the 3D Direct 3D. But yeah, so
Okay,
right now
so
it
this
tells
was
me
in-
that the GPU is using the 3D processing.
So this was in, where were we in video? Sorry, I came on late.
Yeah, so meetings and webinars and
Okay,
advanced.
I'm an hour. I've got to update this PC. Meeting. Yeah. Why? Yeah, this is way out. Yeah. Let me update that PC and see.
All right.
I was
should we
only
keep
just
going while
doing
you're
this so
it?
David could have a break. That was all.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I needed to go do something. Okay. Here we go. Next is the recording tab. And we did have this before. Everything is, the text is all, I'm actually not sure about that. I was going to say it's bigger, but maybe it's not.
It's probably you.
I think I'm just older.
Max Zero.
So,
hit it.
recording tab, it's nice. It's storage location. What your cloud record. This is new.
That is new, yes.
Well, it's not new, actually. I can see it on, if you look over, it's here. It's just like ridiculous and tiny, and it's right there. But you know, you have a nice little graphic now that kind of shows you.
Right,
what
but you
pressed.
can go and manage it though from there. There's a manage button.
Yep, and that's going to take me into, to my recordings and transcripts. Okay. And then, didn't we have this already? Didn't we? I swore we had show participant names. Yeah, we do.
No, yeah, but this is in recording. This is really interesting. You've got it in recording. So that you can now record without participant names, which is actually quite useful because if you want to create almost clean feed recordings,
we couldn't do that.
Remember, I
The
don't
names
know.
were burned in.
Sure, we could. I have lots of recordings with no names on them.
Okay.
But maybe.
I don't think I could
maybe
change it in the meeting. I think I had to change it before the meeting.
But I'm wondering if maybe we couldn't record with the names.
I think it's it used to
Yeah,
be
no,
you had
you've
to
always
log
been
into
able to
the
record with.
US portal, and now you can do it from the
Okay. It
application.
was a back-end setting, and now it's a front-end setting. Got it. That makes sense. Let's see what's under advanced. Record separate audio files. Keep unconverted recording files for troubleshooting. And optimize for third-party video editors. Okay.
I think that was on the portal too.
Was it? They moved it over?
I think I could be wrong. But...
David, did you go into advanced?
Yeah, that's what I was just. That's where I just was.
Okay,
Do you,
sorry.
do you have something different?
I don't. I just wanted to double check because I
Yeah.
was answering stuff. Sorry.
No, not at all. So for share screen, window size when viewing a shared screen, maintain or enter full screen. That's the same as before. Scale to fit content. See shared content in side-by-side mode. Is that where and you can slide it over? Is that what side-by-side mode is? Well, let me click on the eye here. View shared content directly in to the left of the participants' videos. Yeah. Now I don't have that on because I'm using dual monitors, so I don't think that would actually matter in dual monitors because shared screen shows up on your secondary monitor when you have that turned on. But this is the when you click share, do you want it to just automatically? Oh no, it's not. I'm sorry. This is, do you want to choose which windows or show all the windows from a particular share?
It's the application setting. That's all.
Well, no, this is for when you go into share, you can, what you're able to share will change based on what you have set in here, what you have set here.
But
So
what it's doing, David, is saying, I mean, and a good example is, well, in my case, like DaVinci has multiple windows, true, honest to God, whether you want to call Mac or Windows, but they're different Windows managers running. And so you could pick which one of those or show them all. It says
Right.
share all windows from an application.
Exactly. So let me just open this up so you can all see. I think this will work. How do I am,
Do you have an application running that's actually driving multiple windows?
yeah, I do, but I don't, I have Ecamm running, but I actually don't think that's going to be a good example. Which is why I'm going to open up something else.
How about 2 letters in pages? That's a good example.
Yeah.
2 letters in cages? What?
Pages.
Pages.
Oh, pages. Sorry. I never use pages. I wouldn't even know how to do that. I'm going to open up Keynote.
Well, two different keynotes.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm going to do. I've just never used. All right, so let me open this up. And I'll open another Keynote. Okay. Sorry, it is.
But you turn it on? The thing we're looking at now says it's choose
No,
individual
you're
windows.
just bear with me. Hold on. You're looking at the wrong screen. Okay. Here's the screen. And so I've got one of the keynotes here and the other one right there. Okay. So I can now get these out of the way. And so now I have share. I'll do share individual window. And let me reset the share and open that up. So now I have both of them here. I wonder if you have to, I wonder if it doesn't take, if it doesn't click in during a meeting, you may have to stop meeting. So let me close this and now I'll change it. I don't think it's going to affect it while you're in the same meeting. Yeah, no, it doesn't. So I still have both of them there. So presumably if I change this to share all windows from an application, then what it would do is it would show me just Keynote and I'd get a screen size that includes every window that's open within Keynote. Whereas if I do share individual window, it will then give me these options and I can choose which one I want. I think that's what's going on there.
The thing on the left said application desktop, and then the thing next to it said desktop. I'm wondering if application desktop is what you're looking for. What happens if you click application desktop?
Application desktop? I'm not sure what that.
Start sharing, and the thing in the upper left-hand corner is not desktop, it's application desktop. Application
Windows.
Windows.
No. So these are the desktops that I have available. This is just a header. So do you want to share the entire screen? Here are your 3 entire screens. Do you want to share an application window? Here are the application windows you can share. Those are just headers. Whereas
Thank you. It was small enough I couldn't read all
yeah, of course.
else.
Okay. And then again, do you want to share your toolbar, your annotation toolbar, all those things? This is important if you're helping people with Zoom and you want to do a screen share. This is where you have to have that clicked. And I don't think that this will toggle permissions when you're in a meeting. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think it will. I can't test
David,
that.
the only difference I'm seeing on that one is that we do not have annotation toolbar for Windows.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But we have the other 2.
And then share button behavior, preview available, share entire desktop. So this is nice. I used to use this when I screen shared. In the old version, it said automatically share desktop, or show all sharing options. They've now changed the language there. But basically, if you change it to share entire desktop, and you know what, and it's going to always share your primary desktop. So if you have more than one desktop, if you have more than one monitor, whichever your primary monitor is, it will automatically share that monitor. And I use that all the time because it allowed you to quickly get into a screen share, and you just had to remember that whatever is on your primary monitor, that's what's going to go out to share. Whereas preview is what I was showing you before. And then the same thing for Zoom rooms and advanced screen capture mode. What are these things, guys? People who are smarter than me. We've talked about these in the past. I just don't remember. We've got capture with window filtering, advanced capture with window filtering.
These features are intended for advanced technical users. Toggling these options without knowledge of device hardware and software configuration can result in a substandard user experience. There is a web page on it.
So Zoom is basically telling stupid people like me should not touch that.
I think this whole page here is for advanced users, really.
Okay, not touch.
And very
there
clever
is
as well.
some- And there
So
is some
again, this
differences
is
for Windows too.
Yeah.
this is another nod to the professionals situation.
Yeah. Go ahead.
In troubleshooting my issue this week after the update, a recommendation, I think from AI was to go in and change that screen share frames per second limit to 10. So John, are you saying don't mess with it and just leave it to what it's default to?
If you know what you're doing, they're very powerful. If you don't know what you're doing, you can get yourself in a big mess. But yes, using that to reduce that to 10 is a good thing because it slows down the frames and therefore it makes it easier for the computer to process it.
So I should leave it at 10?
If you 10 is fine. If you're just sharing things and you're not sharing video, then slower frames will be less data flying around and less work for your processors and your graphics.
So this is for people watching. So if I didn't even have it open, share screen frames per second limit. Sorry, not share. Screen share frames per second limit. So just as a reminder, when you're just sharing video, Zoom prioritizes frame rate, and when you're doing a screen share, it prioritizes resolution. And so this, I guess, is a way to limit the frame rate even more. I guess it's already set to 10, and then you can go down or up. Going down will make it a choppier, a less smooth video, I assume. Is that correct?
Yeah, but if you're going to share static images like slides,
then it doesn't matter.
You could bring it down, and it will make the network much better.
Yep. Great. All right.
And if you have it turned off, what is it? Is it 10 automatically by default?
Yes, the default is 10, it looks like.
Yeah, David, in the advanced section there, where you had the enable shared, so we were just talking about the frames per second.
Yeah.
In Windows, we also have another one under there called enable remote control in all applications.
What do you think that means?
I'm thinking it's got to do, well, again, it's to do with sharing, but
Remote
I'm not in
all applications.
Yeah.
So it's you can use Zoom as like I use TViewer as a help for a third party, so you can connect onto their PC. So I believe this is how you enable it, so that you can actually sort of take over and control their PC and fix things. So it enables Zoom to come out of its box.
Yeah, David, I'm thinking more to going on when Leo's actually talking about remote control of all applications. Again, not knowing Zoom's wording perfectly. All applications sounds like to me now it's popping it out of where you just had remote control before of just the Zoom client. So Zoom Workplace. Now I'm thinking that it actually now allows you, if you have that enabled, so that they can actually become part of your Windows desktop. So you're sort of remote desktoping now with that enabled or disabled.
Is that, Frank, is that what you were saying, remote desktop RDP? Every time I see RDP, I think of me because those are my initials, but
remote desktop protocol. Remote desktop.
Yeah.
protocol.
I would also say that this is probably the reason it's probably more on PC than Mac is so difficult at the moment to do anything like this. The number of hoops you have to jump through just to get it past the security enabler, you just wouldn't bother.
Do you think that it would be for all applications or just the Zoom applications that you have?
So the Zoom applications, being able to see the Zoom applications in a screen share was back here. That was show my Zoom workplace application and meeting windows, including sharing. So that's a setting over here. It doesn't talk over here about being able to control them, but it does talk about sharing them over here.
Yeah, and the ones further down, because there was the ones in the advanced.
Yeah.
Because sometimes what you used to get when you used to do screen sharing is you'll lose parts of the screen. This was a big problem for a while. I didn't know that they had actually put the buttons in here. You used to like get blocks that were missing. It was a big problem a long time ago. It used to be every time someone did a screen share to show a PowerPoint slides or something, they were like, you had this bars appearing. I thought they'd fixed this a long time ago, but it's obviously they've given you the ability to fix it. And I think the TCP connection, I may be wrong, but it may be so that you can show some of the video when you're screen sharing and you've got something with a video in it. It sometimes doesn't play nicely.
I just want to, so this just popped up on my screen. So I just want to share it with people. So this I've seen before. Confirm your speaking language. Sometimes it says I'm speaking Hebrew. Ugh, just went away. But this guy up here, the HE for Hebrew, which I did not say I was speaking Hebrew. It just kind of decided I was, I guess. But I don't know. That's just interesting. I hadn't seen before. I'm not speaking Hebrew. I'm speaking, at least I thought I was speaking English, but I hadn't seen that before. Do any of the rest of you have that at the top of do you have your language choice at the top of your Zoom window?
Not me.
So I guess.
No, but you probably set multilingual somewhere.
I mean,
and that's it. You can do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how. Out of interest, David, what is it like on transliterating Hebrew?
I have no idea. I've never tried it. Never tried it.
It'll be interesting to see.
All right, let's keep going. We got our left sidebar or in team chat now. Message grouping, opening set. My sense of this, and maybe I'm wrong, but my sense of this is that before these settings that you access, I mean, you can access them from the app, but I think primarily you really access them from when you're in a meeting and you need to change something. We're really meeting focused, and now that it's much broader. Like there was no team chat option in the old version of this. It just seems they've really broadened the even having a my account button. There was no my account. Like none of this existed on the old one.
No, they're bringing a lot of the Zoom.us website into the app now. By the way, there's a phone tab if you're using phone above team chat.
Great. All right, so this is all team chat. How do you want, right? What kind of messages do you want? Do you want translation? Accessibility, chat display size, automatically dim video when flashing visual patterns are detected, your font size, your caption color, your translation color, always show captions in meetings and webinars, screen reader alerts. Participants joined or left the meeting, host only. Yeah, there you go. So if you can get, I don't know what these would look like, forgive me, or what they would sound like rather, or forgive me, I'm naive when it comes to this, and I shouldn't be, that's embarrassing. But you get notified somehow when your audio is muted by the host, you get notified when your video is stopped. These are not new, I don't believe.
Does the individual get notified, or is it a chime that goes to the whole group? like when somebody enters the room.
No, this is it looks individual. That's what it looks like to me. We got our keyboard shortcuts, and I will say that if you look carefully at the text, they did not update this font on this tab. This is the old font, and this is the new font. So they literally just copy and pasted from the old one.
Did they break that up for you on Mac into sections
What do you mean?
for the keyboard shortcuts? Okay.
So I've got meeting, if I close it, a meeting, team chat, clips, phone in general. Yeah.
That I think is new. I don't know if you can check that. Or not.
Let's see. Let me come over here to keyboard shortcuts. No, I've still got, I take that back. In the old one, I've got meeting and then general. On the new one, I've got meeting, team chat, clips, phone, and general. And again, that's because they're moving more of, as John said, they're moving more of the website into this. Yeah. It is nice to be able to have more access to this stuff in the app. I do like that. Statistics. This is all, you're not seeing it because this app isn't plugged in right now. Here's this wonderful, I remember when Frank told us about this, and it blew my mind that you can run a test meeting to check things out, which is fantastic. And
the button beside that's very useful.
Report problem.
Yeah, it sends logs and everything to Zoom and opens a ticket. So
Yep.
you're not just opening a ticket, you're sending them data about the current state of your Zoom session and your computer hardware and a bunch of other information that helps them diagnose problems.
That's great. Yeah. So meeting, what kind of problem is it? You can tell them about the problem, add an attachment, include the log file. It's great. And finally, my account. So this shows all the places you're logged in. We looked at this last week, right? So this is not devices. This is devices and I guess apps, as it were.
Correct. And David, one last thing I wanted to mention in the shared screen advanced for Windows, that is different. Down there where you guys have the use hardware acceleration 4, you just have video sharing. We also, for Leo, we also have in there screen sharing as well as annotations can also be sent to the graphics card.
Nice. My account, and I assume if I click on view advanced features, it's going to take me into the website. Yeah. And that took me to the settings page on the website. So, I mean, boy, a lot of change. I don't know. There's a lot of new stuff, but more than that, it's just the way they reorganized everything and changed the font. And I just want to go back to something that who was it who said it before? Roland said it before, and I could not agree more. A search bar, a way to search in here, or even
it's really weird because the website has always, that has been one of the best things about the website, has always had a search for for this, because there's just too many settings.
I mean, it seems to me that this is this is a great place to have Zoom AI Companion right here, where you could just say, hey, where's this setting? And it can, either that or just a vanilla search bar, one of the two. Go ahead. She's looking for the mute button. She found it.
She just didn't come in through. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I love like the new interface and the changes that they've made. One thing I think is the same though, please confirm, is that while these things all appear in the app, they don't all stick live in the meeting, and they haven't differentiated that, right? Like there's no clear, unless if you know, right? And I think many of us know. But if you don't, then there's no way to decipher changes that you can make and are going to stick live versus you have to wait until after this meeting from all of these changes, right?
Oh, you mean like the ones that I was trying to do before? Yeah.
Right? Like that.
It would be really helpful to have a something that says, hey, you can press this as many times as you want, but you're going to have to log out and log back in or quit the
Right.
meeting.
Right.
That's a really good point.
I didn't miss that, right? Like that still doesn't exist.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, thank you.
But that's a great piece of feedback. Go ahead, John.
And the bad news is the Zoom Windows browser app is now way behind because it's got almost nothing in the settings section.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it looks very naked in comparison.
By the way, Hershey, and thank you so much, Hershey, for watching and for writing this in. Nothing seems that new in the area he's talking about, the accessibility. Notifications can be helpful if, let's say, you give me co-host, then my screen reader would notify me with that alert to say that I got co-host privileges. The screen reader speaks the said action that is under that list. Fantastic. Thank you, Hershey, so much for that. That's great. So what is new? There was, Frank, you all were looking for something. Was it you? Someone. There was a feature. I thought I saw you writing about that you were looking for this week. Am I wrong about that? Wasn't activated yet? You don't know what I'm talking about. You're no help whatsoever. What was it? I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. So what are the new features in the, we got, yeah, I mean, that was one the group chat, which I still don't see anywhere. And just, has anyone else seen that? I haven't seen that anywhere. I'm looking around to see if I can.
I haven't seen that, but that is a feature that I've been waiting for ages.
Yeah.
Absolutely ages.
Could you read the note so those on Zoom, on YouTube can hear what we're talking about?
Well, it's no, I mentioned that it's the feature where you can group chat. That's what we're
yeah, so you can direct the feature I'm after, Lois, is that the ability to chat so that as a participant can chat directly to the host co-hosts in one message, and rather than actually directing their message at an individual host or co-host, which typically they're cherry picking which one they think they're supposed to be sending the message to.
Or, for that matter, create other groups. Like, I would love to be able to create a chat group of my panelists, or a chat group of this or that or the other thing. I can imagine actually doing if you're teaching, I can imagine setting up different chat groups for different working groups, and you don't want one group to see what you're sending to the other group or something. I don't know. I can think of lots of use cases for that, but I don't think that's out yet. So what else? Let me pull up the notes. I mean, what else launched that we can actually use or see or play with or bite on? Oh, apparently we're about to go through a detailed list of all the features released this week by Zoom. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
I know that's where we're going. That's fantastic. Lois, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Go ahead.
Okay, so a number of times this meeting, you have mentioned Lois's problem last night. And so I wanted to explain to people what it is and how we tried to fix it and why it went horribly wrong.
Okay, but just to be clear, I wasn't like a derogatory Lois.
No, thank you. I came in, asked a question to the group because I figured, well, they'd know instantly because they do this all the time. And the instructions I got were not useful in my case. So here we go. I have always been a person with one monitor. Well, this week I set up another monitor. And what I wanted to do, I put my camera in the second camera in front of that, thinking, okay, I'll have the gallery view over there. I'll turn and face it, and it'll be my primary camera. And that'd be really cool, right? Well, it turns out that I turned on Zoom. I checked the button that said dual monitors, and it immediately put speaker over there. I couldn't get the gallery view to show up on the monitor. And it was explained to me that the gallery view will always be in monitor 1. And in monitor 2, you can put this other thing if you're using Zoom to do it. But because I have a Mac, I can set my Mac up so it says this computer screen is my primary screen. And then I have this other screen, and I can just drag things over to the other screen and it'll show up on the other screen. Who needs Zoom, right? Don't do it. Whatever you do, don't do it. Because I did that, and I dragged the Zoom window that had the gallery view on it over there. I dragged that window that had just a single view over here. And what happened is that I lost control of every single piece of control. I mean, I couldn't use the buttons. I couldn't use the menu across the top because it was over on the other screen, and I couldn't use it. And then somehow trying to get it fixed, every single window that had a sound attached to it or could have been played started. And so there's all this cacophony going on, and I can't stop it. I can't even find it. I finally had to not only turn off Zoom, I had to shut down the computer. And when I turned it on, almost all of the windows from my main screen were gone because they had been put on the other screen, which I had turned off, trying to get everything. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Can I ask, Lois?
Yes, you can ask.
When I was watching, so I was watching watching the show last night, obviously on catch up, and the show starts. And first of all, thank you, David, for leaving the meters running while the opening credits are on.
You know what? I forgot. Okay.
And then the show starts.
Thanks for calling it.
And there's the show starts, and then I can hear bing, someone joining Zoom. Was that you, Lois, joining back into Zoom after?
I don't know.
It was. I think so. In the UK, there used to be a show that was all about the bloopers and things that used to happen on TV, and it's like, I think the rundown just could run on that. I did send you a video, didn't I, David, of it?
Yes, of the dance. It was fantastic.
But
I will say, Lois, that I also am on a Mac. I have multiple monitors here. I move my Zoom windows around all the time with no issue. So I don't know what it was.
Okay, I would say in this environment, the big thing is when you move over to dual monitors on a Mac, the one thing that you get used to is never letting your mouse hit the bottom or the top of certain things, because it will move your bars, and you will suddenly go. And once you get used to seeing it, and once you get used to knowing that's what it's doing, it's no problem. If I go over to my second monitor and I move my mouse down and I push it hard, my taskbar or whatever it's called will shift over to that monitor. I think that's and you have to know how to shift it back, and it does exactly what you're saying. It's sort of like why they don't let pilots suddenly decide to go, I wonder what that button does when they're in the middle of the air.
Frank and then Tony.
Oh, I took my hand down, but I often drag, and even while Lois was talking about the issue she had, I dragged the main window and the small window opposite, and nothing bad happened. Like, don't know why it happened to you, Lois, but I do it all the time. It never causes me any issues.
Yeah. Tony, go ahead.
So I am experimenting with a new update of SPX, which is a Zoom app, and it works well on Windows as well as Mac. I was just wondering if you guys were interested in seeing some of the things that it can do.
We can definitely do that. Let me just see. Lois, did you want to add anything? I don't want to cut off your.
No, I'm going to continue to explore, but I think I'll use that test meeting that you pointed out to us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it while I'm on any program.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that up, though. Hey, Tony, before we jump over to you, can we try one little test here in the kitchen? So one of the new features that we got was about screen share, that an enhancement to spotlighted tab display when sharing multiple screens simultaneously during a meeting. Participants can distinguish spotlighted tabs through a newly designed visual pill that appears next to the selected tab. I'd like to see what that looks like, if that's okay. Can someone else get a screen share ready? I've got one up. So I'm going to go ahead and I will start sharing mine. Thank you, whoever just did that. All right, so now we've got, I don't see, I'm not really going to experience it, I don't think, because I'm the one sharing, but let me see if I can do it over here. All right, so.
Yeah, I got it. I've got it at the top of my screen now. I can see, I've got a thing that says Frank's screen or David's screen, and I can click on them at the top.
I don't see the pill, the new pill.
It's at the top bar. So you're very top.
The three, just you see meeting, Frank's screen, and then David Paskin's screen, right?
Yeah, so you just click on each one of those.
Yeah, but that's not new.
No, but it says spotlight. Do you have to spotlight run on them?
Oh, do you have to? How do you spotlight a screen share?
I don't know, but I saw the word spotlight in the.
All right, yeah, I did too. All right, hold on. So I just spotlit myself. Did I? I think I just spotlit myself.
Enhancements to spotlighted tab display.
So spotlight Frank's screen share. Maybe we need 3.
All right, I'm going to spotlight Frank. It's not changing anything for me.
No, it's not for me.
It's anything different.
Huh. Okay.
Wouldn't be the first time Zoom lied to us.
Just spotlight somebody as well.
Yeah, I did.
Someone into the spot.
Yeah, Frank is spot. Oh, add someone. Okay.
Add somebody into the spotlight. So
yeah, there are 2 spotlit already.
Oh, there are. Sorry.
Maybe we need more than 2 screen shares.
Let me do this. Let me do. All right. I'm just gonna spotlight Frank. Oh my gosh! Now everyone's sharing their screen. Yeah, I don't see anything different. But then again, I don't know. Maybe I'm not on the latest.
Can you spotlight a person?
Yeah, that's the only thing you can spotlight is a person. You can't spotlight a screen share. Right now, I have Frank's. I think I have Frank's spotlight. The way to see this is to.
But Frank's not sharing.
Right, side by side speaker. Hold on. Yeah, Frank is spotlit right now.
Yeah. So Frank is spotlight. Yeah. Now, but as soon as you do that,
but he's not sharing.
No, he is sharing. Oh, okay.
Lois, if you're running dual monitor, his screen share will appear in your other window.
Oh no, I'm not going to run dual monitor. Oh.
Okay. Well, that was a bit of a fail, but that's okay.
Did you want to do we talked earlier about the remote control. That happens in the screen share. So if you screen share, then I remote control you from there, don't I?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Just try it. What's the worst that can happen?
Just bad idea.
Zoom test.
We're the Zoom test kitchen crew. Sing it, everybody.
But since David is the host of the show, maybe it would be better to to play on somebody else.
No,
Just
I
you know
don't
what?
know if it will work actually, but so David is there. So I now say remote control. So I
Okay,
should
so
now.
I got a pop-up that says a user named Leo Mendelis requesting remote control of your computer. I
Yeah.
confirm that I know and trust this user. I have to click it, then I click approve.
So I should now
And
be
now-
able to. I should now be able to click. No, I can't. I can roll the mouse, but I can't seem to click on anything. You can see me.
Well, what's
can you
the
see
point of that? Scroll down to the
Because I
page.
think you have to. Is that options that we were talking about enabling you to what you're allowed to go into?
Oh.
And I think you'll find that you haven't got on a Mac. This is where I was saying it's really tough on a Mac because you can move the mouse on a Mac, but clicking is. I have this all the time with TeamViewer.
well,
So
the
I can't.
option wasn't in the Mac. That was in the Windows.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
that
but
was in the Mac
you've got to
too.
grant. You've got to grant additional permissions.
Yeah. All right. So wait. So let me stop the share. Let me open up my
You
settings.
won't be able to do this because to do this you'll have to restart
You
Zoom.
have to restart.
Yeah. There's an option in your Mac. You have to give it. You must have screen sharing because obviously you have. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to screen share. But for remote control, which is an accessibility share, I think somebody jump in here on a Mac. It's called something like accessibility share. That's the one that allows you to keyboard and mouse. I don't know if somebody who's.
I'm looking at my settings and I don't have that. I have used hardware acceleration for video share.
No,
That's
it's in the
always
Mac,
in the Mac.
Lois. It's a Mac problem in the Mac. It's security
It's a
and
Mac.
accessibility settings of the Mac, not Zoom.
Yeah, it's a secure. It's all to do with the Mac. They lock down a load of security settings.
But I'm saying that the Zoom settings does not have that option in a Mac at all.
And
I
what they're
can't click
saying
it
is
or
that-
unclick it.
Right, but they're saying it's not a Zoom setting at all. It's a Mac setting.
Let me
So
just
since
try.
I can't choose it, he can't do it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Frank, you want to
Right.
jump in?
You'd have to find a Windows person
Not on
who
this
trusts
topic.
you.
Not on this topic. Okay.
I'd like to suggest when we're done with this, and at no rush, I really want to explore the new PowerPoint as a background
Okay.
that they seemingly returned, but have they actually returned it to its
All
former
right.
glory?
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
David, double check chat. We have a
Double
screenshot
check
in there for
chat.
you.
Yep. From Erm.
Yeah. That's
let's
it.
see here.
That's the one that you have to enable.
Accessibility. All right. So I'm going to go in and
But you'll lose.
what'll happen?
You'll lose. Yeah. It will throw you out. It will
Gonna
try
throw
if
me
you
out?
try and do.
Accessibility. Allow you to control your computer. Oh, I see. Vision. Where is that though? Where is under accessibility?
Should be in alphabetical order.
Yeah, but
Do you want to?
Privacy and security or something, I think.
I
David.
probably turned it on mine. See if you can. If somebody takes over my screen share now, if you can see my screen share, if somebody requests
you're not screen sharing. Oh, yes, you are.
Yeah,
Are you screen sharing? What are you screen sharing yourself?
I'm screen sharing eCam.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how do
If
I?
you now
I
request,
don't see a screen share. I mean, it's just gallery.
It is
it's
a
probably
screen share,
two
you can't
versions of me.
tell.
I'll do something. Hold on. If I do this, then that'll give you a better.
So how do I now request it? Where is
three
that?
little dots at the top?
Three little dots
At the top, next to there should be an option to say next to the screen share. Wherever you see the screen share, you should have three.
Where the tab is that you didn't
right,
like.
Mike is just approved, so I am going to approve Mike. Right, I've got to say yes. I've got to open system setting. So you probably can't see. Hold on, let me see if I can. I'll show you. Give me 2 seconds to try and grab that screen.
Can you tell me where under because I'm in accessibility, but I don't see that.
It's under open system settings, privacy and security, accessibility to grant access.
Oh, privacy and security. Because accessibility has its
open
own,
system settings.
Yeah. See, mine is turned on.
Privacy.
I
Yeah,
have Zoom turned
Leo,
on.
let me know when you want me to try something.
Yeah, I'm going to try and I think I need to do open accessibilities. I've got to turn on what Zoom. Hold on.
You should have been
That's
able
it.
to do mine because
Okay.
I have it turned
Right,
on.
I've just done it. Do you want to try and see if you can, Mike? Have you got access?
Okay, I'm clicking a little bit. Let me try to go to
Okay,
view.
so go where it says screen presentation, top left.
Yeah,
That, and then choose main
Oh,
cam.
there you go. Yeah.
main cam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
got
you
it.
go. That's it. So that you're doing exactly that. You are now controlling my screen. That is what you're able to do.
Does anyone else see this? Because I'm not seeing a screen share at all.
Can you see a picture? Can you see a picture, Lois, with lots and lots of
Oh, I
tiles of us?
bet this is last night's problem, and Zoom has not
Don't-
turned off dual
Mike,
thing.
don't stop, Mike.
I know. Yeah, no. I'm
No, I'm
behaving.
not going live. I'm not going live.
I'm behaving. I'm just clicking to show the menu, different changes to YouTube.
This is
Yeah.
it. This is it. That's the end of my career. It's gone. That's it. Tony, cancel me for next week. I'm out. I'm out, Tony.
Oh, man.
I wasn't going to click on it. I just wanted to show everybody on YouTube that
No,
you
that's
can
all
actually
right. It's
touch those
absolutely
buttons.
fine. It's absolutely fine. You can choose. You could probably click on the video icon to go next one along. Next one. You don't want to look at my pro account. You'll just annoy you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In fact, I early birded.
Oh, you're talking.
Ecamm. I early birded Ecamm. I've got this free for life, but that was because I was that early on it a long time ago. Long time.
Okay, so there's the.
Anyway, yeah, that's it. You as you can see, you're okay. The point we're trying to do is you are remote controlling the window that I've said, because I shared that window, but the options were in there, whereas in the ability to share beyond the window that you were controlling. Do you remember those were the options we looked at?
Yeah, I believe when Zoom first ever came out, you could either remote control somebody or you could screen share. I think there was a remote control feature in there, but it then disappeared and it's now coming back in a better way.
That's it.
Right.
Anyway.
Like most things, Zoom uses a lot of words repeatedly in different ways. Zoom has remote support. They also have remote settings control, and they don't mean the same thing, and they do different things, but people don't always use the vocabulary exactly the way Zoom intends.
Yeah.
By the way, I was left over from last night. The Zoom settings said I'm using dual monitors, even though the monitor is off. It was still sending a signal to it, and that's why I couldn't see you. So
that's a really good point, actually, Lois. Once you turn that dual monitor on, you have to have two monitors connected to turn it on. But once you have turned it on, you are now always having two windows.
But I just want to.
You can turn it off, but you have to remember.
Yeah. But if you go back to one monitor, you end up with two. You end up with your other window sitting somewhere. It's like a detached tag.
This is another language. This is another language problem because when people hear monitor, they think of a physical monitor, and
that's what it was, David. When it first came out, you could only run dual screens when you had physically two dual screens.
No, that's still the case. You still
no,
have
it's not. No, you don't have to have. You can get away with running dual screen mode even when you've only got one physical screen.
John, you have to have two screens on when you turn the option on, but once you've turned it on, you're then left with it. You're getting two feeds back from Zoom all the time. And that's exactly what Lois has had. A number of times, Lois, people have had exactly that problem. They're going, I can't see, where's it gone?
And John, you're saying that in that instance that I just had a few minutes ago, I could have somehow gotten that second screen and put it on my first monitor? How?
Yeah. It's like a tab of having two Chrome tabs open.
It's an app. You just drag it over.
But the monitor isn't on, so how can I drag it over when
Turn
I
it
can't
on?
see it?
turn it
No,
on,
you don't
drag
actually
it
even have
over.
to turn it on. It will probably be sitting somewhere behind. If the monitor, hold on. When you say the monitor's not on, Lois, is the monitor plugged in to the piece to the Mac? Because
Oh
the
yeah,
Mac may recognize it will still
yeah,
be there. It
yeah.
depends. Depends on
Okay.
how you.
This is to give me another thing to play with and work on, and I'll report back next week.
Just for clarity's sake, when you turn on dual monitor mode, Zoom really isn't whether maybe you do have to have two physical monitors or you don't have to have two physical monitors. It sort of doesn't matter. When Zoom's talking about dual monitor mode, what it means is you have two Zoom windows. That's what that means. And the primary Zoom window is where your gallery lives. You can also change that to speaker view, but it's primarily where the gallery and all your controls live. And the secondary monitor is where the active speaker or the screen share lives. You can move those two monitors wherever you want. You can put them on the third screen, the second screen, the first screen. You can have them both on the same screen. I'm right now in dual monitor mode, and I'm going to, so let me bring you in here. No, didn't want to do that. This is what I want to do. Okay. So I'm now going to ignore that keynote. This is my primary monitor, which was on a secondary monitor up there. And this is my secondary monitor right here. So I've got my two Zoom windows or monitors in their language on the same physical monitor right now. So you can absolutely do that. And you can just drag them and put them wherever you want.
I just rebooted a laptop for you, and I can enable and disable the use dual monitor option, even though I have physically unplugged the second monitor before I turned it on.
So you don't need
a physical second monitor now to enable
Okay.
the dual.
That's really interesting, John. You
That
never
changed,
used to.
I believe, towards the end of the year.
Yep. Interesting. Okay. That was great. Frank, the PowerPoint keynote thing, is that because I brought up a keynote here, and I'm ready to kind of show folks this, but is that the layout thing from over here? Like I choose that and...
All right, it's a long story. I'm going to put the text in the chat from the support site, but you used to be able to do your PowerPoint or Keynote slides as your background, and you would be superimposed on top. Then, let's say 5 months ago, 6 months ago, I can't remember, they broke it. They took that feature away. There was a big hullabaloo in the community forums, and in the recent release notes, it's what I just pasted in the chat, which is which just seems to me to be indicating that they've restored the old functionality back to the way it was. But can we test it and see if it actually works the way we anticipate it working?
Right. Okay.
So it would be share screen advanced, I think.
Right. So, but the first thing I want to point out is that you actually don't need that in order to get the same functionality because of the new layout.
I know,
feature.
but
no, I will.
People say that the new layouts feature does not replicate the way it used to work in its entirety, and it's not sufficient, is what the complaints in the forum say.
Gotcha. So the first thing is this layout feature. If you choose your screen share and then you click on this, it puts you on top. It's not going to work really nicely now because I'm doing this weird thing so I can show you, but that's that. So now if I go into advanced and I choose slides as background, okay, I don't know how it knows what slides I'm going to do, but and then it makes me open. What?
Well, you've got to choose the slides that you want to share.
Well, I have them open on my screen here. Okay, hold on.
David, I think it might be
that's not what it's doing.
file.
It's trying to open the slides.
No. I understand. It's going to open.
Yeah,
so
I think this looks like they're putting native rendering into the app, which is what vMix has done for PowerPoint.
I'm not sure, Leo, because I have a machine here which doesn't have PowerPoint installed, and I can't choose the option.
Oh, okay. Right.
So I'm wondering if they still need something in PowerPoint to work.
That would be better, because then once you do native render, sometimes it just doesn't ever work because new features appear and that's it. So maybe they're taking it, that they're pulling
All right,
it.
so I just opened a PowerPoint, a Keynote rather. It says preparing slides on my end. Oh, let me get out of this.
Have you got any animations in those slides, David?
I have no idea. It's asking me to access data from other apps. I do have animations in here. Yes.
Okay. All right, because
so
it'll be
is
interesting to see if those animations work or not,
right.
depending on the level that it does it.
So it is now pulled up the slides, and here I am now, and I can adjust my size.
Yeah,
I
you
can
can pick
move
yourself up
myself.
and move yourself around the screen,
Yep.
I think, still, which
Yep.
is before.
I need to move that.
One thing they have
Yeah,
changed is in the old version, when you did this, you sat over the screen, the background behind you got showed on your camera feed.
Yeah.
On your camera feed, we now just have you with a blank background, so it's not
Right,
copying
it's
across the
keying me
slides
out.
like it used to.
This is not the worst key in the world.
It's pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at now, of course I have lighting and stuff like that, but that's really not terrible. So now the way to get through slides, I can just, you lose all animations, but let's see. I can resize my video. I can split video from slides.
I
can
wonder
merge
if this
video
recording,
slides.
if you recorded this to the cloud, I wonder if you would get this view, because in the layouts view, you don't get the view that you use while you're presenting in the recording.
I am recording to the cloud. So we can see what is YouTube seeing, Mike?
YouTube is actually seeing what you are sharing.
So, but am I in the frame? Am I in the picture with keyed out?
Currently, you are not.
Yeah. So there again, that's a shame.
Could you say how you got there? I'm trying to follow along and I don't know which settings to be looking in.
Yeah. Let me stop the share. How do I stop the share? I guess.
Also, can I ask, once you've done that, if you show that to Lois, can you just do it again? Doing it, literally try to do the same slides as you've just done through Ecamm. I just want to see the comparison. Use Ecamm as your. So put yourself on Ecamm.
You want to
and
see okay.
See how different it looks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is Lois. I'm going to come in here and show you as best I can how you do this. So you open up. You go to share screen, and then click on advanced, and then choose slides as background. Once you select that and either double click on it or click share, it will bring up a picker, and you can choose the presentation that you want to do. And as soon as you do that, it takes over. So it now, that's interesting. It opened it on this screen, it then moved it over. Let me get out of this so that it looks better. And that's it. It put me on top. And now I can grab myself from the Zoom window, and I can make myself bigger or smaller. I can move myself around. And I can resize my video. I'm not sure. Resizing the video just brings up the bounding box that you can adjust. And then you can also split video from slides, which basically pops you out, and then you can merge your video back in.
Can any of you see this?
We can, but why don't I stop my screen share so that they can see yours better.
All I see is me and a gray background.
Did you choose a PowerPoint or a Keynote to put behind you?
Oh,
Lois will be on that other window again. He'll be on.
No, it's in this window. I just hadn't done the slides. So you can switch through the slides.
Are your slides 4x3?
No, her slides are actually vertical, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're 9x16.
This is going to be a short that I'm gonna do. Okay, thank you. I'll stop now. Wait a minute.
So,
And just to let Lois know that you were if you're sending this to YouTube, all we saw was you in the top right, and the slides were dead center.
Right. You saw it the traditional way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't see me moving myself around?
No, they've
Oh.
not. The recording and the video people haven't got the feature to show it yet. Remember, they're a different team in the production process for Zoom to the guys that show it on the computer screen.
How do you end a share like this? Because all I have is that green share button at the bottom. I don't have an end share like I.
Yeah. So if you go up to the top, in those tabs, those pills that we were talking about, you just X yourself out.
There we go. Okay. That's confusing.
I agree. That is confusing. Yeah.
It also has aberrations like using a virtual background.
Say it one more time.
You know, when you use a virtual background, you have aberrations of the video. It does exactly the same when you do this feature.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
using the same process.
It's just a crappy key. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that-
for
that-
so for
It'll
the
be
YouTube
better if
audience,
you-
I'm just letting them know that this is Leo's screen share right now. Go ahead, continue, guys.
So Leo, Leo had asked about us. So this is how I would normally do a screen share. And it's not a screen share, but this is the same thing that I was sharing before. This is how I would normally do it using Ecamm. So I'm not actually screen sharing, as it were, and you can see just if there's certainly, I'm sure will be a quality difference. I'm sure it'll be crisper as a screen share.
Much nicer.
As a
Yeah, I
screen
think the
share,
other thing is what Zoom has to look at is that the idea of that anti-aliasing you just doesn't.
But the quality of the screen share is better than this. Yes.
Yes, but you're sharing the screen, whereas it's probably just creating images of the screen
I
shares.
see what you're saying. Right. So this is not a screen share. This is just an Ecamm.
This is a live view of the slides, run by the slide program.
But what's interesting, what you just said is interesting, because in that what we did before really isn't a screen share. You're right. No. It's taking files, it's converting them to, I guess, whatever, images, and then putting those up.
Yeah, but what that also though has, not for us in this meeting, but for some people, because this is a 1080p meeting, everything you're sending on your screen, David, is 1080p.
Right.
But for the majority of people who use Zoom, they only get 1080p when they do screen shares.
Right. That's true.
Because that's the default only, but it's only on the screen share.
Yeah. Is that, Frank, is that sort of the behavior that you were, oh wait, Frank went away. No,
I'm still here.
Is that kind of what you were?
Yeah, it seems like they've returned it to the original functionality. Maybe I'm missing some nuance, but they had taken that away and sort of suggested that you should use the layouts, but people were saying the layouts didn't replicate the functionality precisely and enough, and they were very upset. Like, I'm going to cancel my license, upset.
One of the differences, at least it was, let's see if it is again, actually. Bear with me for a second. Let me open back up, because there is.
Did you do that? I'm going to say goodbye because I've got to disappear.
Bye, Leo.
Have a good
See
one.
you all soon.
All right, so I'm opening up the same, what do you call it, keynote I had before. Let me just get that playing. Okay, so now instead of using what I used before, I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way, or the new-fashioned way, whatever, and I'm going to kind of do this, what do you call it? I know you can't see when I do
Layouts.
This. Yeah, I'm going to use this layout. And then let's just see what happens. Hold on a second. Okay, so now you should be able to see me. But, and here's the this is the but, is that I cannot adjust my size. This is something that you get in the use keynote as You can adjust it before you share, but once you start sharing, you cannot adjust your size or your placement on the screen. Because I, as the sharer, I actually don't see myself on the screen anymore.
But in the old version, at the moment you've got a cart behind your head on the screen share.
Yep.
In the old version, that would have been seen on your video feed.
And it's
because
not here.
And it's not now. Now you're properly blank around you
Right.
in your video feed. So they
Right.
have improved that bit.
But
Sorry,
but
Frank.
I can absolutely see people's frustration of the layout, but then I can't adjust it. Whereas you can adjust it when you use slides as background. Go ahead, Frank.
Maybe John can help. I don't know. I think some of this was related to speakers notes too. In PowerPoint, where you share your screen with the audience, but you have your speakers notes being private to you, so that you have, you know what I'm talking about?
I do indeed, yes.
So I think in the layouts feature or style, I don't think you could make it take advantage of your speakers notes.
Oh, right, because you don't even have the app open. You're not even opening PowerPoint or Keynote. It's just grabbing the and converting the files. You're right. It's a really good point.
Yeah, and also I wanted to update everyone too that if you do not have PowerPoint installed, you do get the box up, and at least this is Windows for me, and it does give you a warning. And if you hover your mouse over top of the warning, I tried to do a screenshot to show you, David, but I can't. And it actually says PowerPoint must be installed for this function to work.
Sorry, or Keynote for that matter. Yeah, wow. So I didn't realize it, Frank, but you're right. There are a couple of really serious limitations to doing it the layout way.
Well, to me, the biggest thing I hate about layouts is your cloud recording doesn't record the way you present.
Right.
It goes back to the old content and you in a little tiny square next to the content. Even though for the whole presentation, you might be picture in picture or side by side or superimposed or whatever, you don't get that recording at the end. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Right. And John, you're mentioning that that's because there's a different department that handles that.
There are well, I think it was 3 teams. There are probably only 2, but there's the team that are defining what we've got in here, but there's a completely different team that deal with the recording, and I think that there's a different team that deal with the live streaming, because I think they're 2 separate things. So as Frank said, you get the side by side on the recording, but those people in YouTube have probably noticed that when we were screen sharing, the box that turned up in the corner was the active speaker. It wasn't the presenter. So if David was doing a screen share and was talking, he would be in the box. But if somebody else started talking and he was quiet, they replaced him on the box, which of course they wouldn't replace him on an overlay if he was over the video. So it's 1 step forward and 2 step backwards in a way, because you've made one feature back to what it was, but the other 2 variations, the recording and the processing to YouTube, and they're of course, taking our production side, everything we send out of Zoom goes through either the recording button or the live streaming button. If it goes into Ecamm, if it goes to any of these other production software, that's the way they talk to the outside world. So this feature again won't get carried across into those environments either.
Yeah, the YouTube viewers were mentioning Ron specifically. Hello, Ron. And he was mentioning about that as you guys were doing the testing. And I just wanted to thank you, John, for that clarification again, because they missed it the first time when you said that.
So I stopped the cloud recording and it's processing now. Hopefully in the next few minutes it'll be done and we can see if it saves to the cloud recording also. Tony,
the slides is background recording?
I'm sorry?
The slides is background recording or the layout recording?
I did both actually.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Tony, did you want to jump in? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, I'm looking at YouTube, and David, when you were sharing the keynote, it had you in the corner, so it did not transfer over as we were seeing it in Zoom. Is that
correct? That's exactly the expected behavior. Is that right now all these fancy keying out, laying you over your slides do not translate to live streaming. And we don't think they necessarily also go to recordings. We're going to check that in a second, as soon as this is done. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah. But I just forgot, Tony, I butted it on you before with your SPX. Do you want to show us that kind of stuff? I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay. Sure, I can. I've been dealing with SPX now for, I'm going to say, about a year and a half. And the only thing that I really have been doing with it is putting in title of my sermons, because I'm using it just for my house of worship. Title of my sermons and my name and the church name. And then when I want to be off camera, I will do take over the screen where it says praise the Lord. And so on Monday, Tuomo and I were able to get together, and he recommended, it's a long story, but he and I were able to get together on Monday, and he showed me a different application that has been developed. And so I wanted to just share a little bit of it with you. And so there are probably 7 or 8 different applications that are part of this. And so I'm going to turn the first one on. And normally I have the church information showing. And I can't, let me see, I guess I need to pin myself because David, you're taking over my screen.
I will, hold on a second. I'm going to spotlight you.
Okay. So that's the first button, and it says, the name of it is name and title. Then you have, oh, this mouse is going all over the place. My mouse is now actually, for some reason, going on to my iPad, and that's a different experience than I've had before.
Continuity.
This,
I think that's what it's called.
so this is the logo and message at the bottom. So there's just 2 of the buttons that are pressed. This is the third button, which, you can call it, what is this? Text and icon. This one takes over the whole screen. And this is called Faith. This
when you
is,
say button, when you say button, Tony, what do you mean?
so there are sliders in SPX. When you go into the App Store and you purchase SPX graphics, it allows you to, with the pro, there's a free account and you get a few things that you can do in Zoom for free. I now have the pro account. And in the early days when Tuomo was sharing it in office hours, you had an opportunity to get, I had the 1 year subscription for $50. Now that has gone away because there's been a major update in terms of the things that you can do. So what I'm sharing with you right now is $10 a month, but I think it's worth it in terms of my rationale for it is that one of my subscriptions that I was paying for television that I don't watch, that I got rid of it. So I'm going to use this in place of that. And so one of the real, there's so many different pieces to it, but I want to make sure that I share this part with you guys. So that's a QR code. If you scan that QR code, that goes to Conversation with Tony Mobley. And so he kind of blew me away with this particular one. And so the reason why I wanted to share this is because if you're not in a position where you can get Ecamm or you can get Mimo Live or QCam Presenter or anything else, an individual person can use this SPX to create graphics for themselves. And so that's just one of the many things that you can do. So I put that up. We can put that up. And so let's see, we got, and I'm probably not doing a good job of sharing it. And then there's 2 or 3 button sliders down here that I have not even turned on yet to see what I can put in. But these are, I think, some, let me close some of them out. So we're gonna close that, we're gonna close that. Let's see, what's this one? We're gonna turn that off. We're gonna turn off this one, stop that one. Okay, and so let's see. I haven't done this one. Let's see, I don't see anything. So, oh, I have not selected an image. That's why this particular one, if I select, let's see. So the list, this one that I'm looking at right now, it says bar overlay, blurry background, demo QR demos, demo transparent product, Fenwick Framer. So we're going to click on Fenwick Framer. We're going to save that, and we're going to turn it on and see what happens. So that's the Fenwick Framer. So that's pretty cool, I think. Turn this on. So thumbs up. Let me turn off the
Yeah,
QR.
Tony, that one is hiding behind your QR code. There you go.
Yep. So it's got two other sliders here that I haven't done anything with them, so it wouldn't populate anything. But if you have an opportunity, I would say anybody who's doing anything that's if they're independent, there is the enterprise version. I don't know anything about the pricing or anything about that for the enterprise version, but this is a Zoom app. It's called SPX Graphics. It is made by a person who is a part of the community. And as I said, I use it for my house of worship. Because I had the conversation with Tony Mobley website, I could put that in as a QR code. But, anybody who has multiple websites and stuff, they could put that in and it will show. And so I just think it's kind of cool that you could do this and you can do all the things that I did for $10 a month. So I wanted to share that too, for the regular folk that don't have all the bells and whistles.
I love it. Thank you,
Tony.
sir.
There's actually a question from Frank. He wants to know if you can control that using Stream Deck.
I don't know. My guess probably is yes. That's my guess. But Tuomo is around, and he's, he does talk to people, and he is excited about what he does. Again, this is a Zoom app. It's SPX Graphics. They are reasonably respondent for when you go into the chat and ask questions. There is a pretty cool I can't think of the term for space where people talk about what's going on with different products and stuff like that. But like I said, it's $10 a month, and for me, for what I'm doing in my house of worship, it's great. I can put the sermon title up. I can put all kinds of things. And one of the things that I wanted to show you guys was putting in the gifts, and I wasn't able to do it. Or maybe that's one of the gifts that's shown right now. But as I said, anyway, I just wanted to share this with you guys. I thought it was pretty cool, and it works on Windows. It's a Zoom app, works on Windows and Mac. Thanks, Scott, for letting me share that.
Of course, Tony.
Good stuff.
Back to David.
Back to Mike.
Oh,
Ping
back to
pong.
me. I think somebody just joined. Harshid, how are you?
Hershey.
Hi. Doing well. Thank you so much. Just figured I'd turn on the camera too.
Excellent. Welcome. You've been
Appreciate
hiding with us. You've been here for a bit as we've been
Yes,
going through the monstrosity of sharing.
Well, when Leo was on, I was figuring I might let him do the screen capture with the remote or share with the remote. I typically use that often enough because I do have vision loss. So someone could quickly help me to, let's say, set up either audio settings or something that might have gone to disarray on me. So that remote control utility is quite nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tony, FYI, rolling in chat on our end is just let us know that SPX does have a companion module. There's the word. So there you go. So yes, Stream Deck compatible as long as you're running Companion.
I'm glad to hear that because I was pretty confident that it did have a Stream Deck component to it. So I think that's amazing.
Sweet. Okay.
Did we miss
As
anything
it-
big from the notes? I don't think we did, but I'm curious. Does anyone know of anything? big
I
that-
know there was one big thing that John and I heard about this week on event side, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But continuing with the actual app, I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know. I mean, that
Frank,
was
was
a
there
lot.
anything else that stuck out for you?
For me personally,
Or-
there's
or
a
what
lot
you
of stuff
do-
for chat, but I'm not a heavy Zoom chat user. I mean team chat, not meeting chat.
Right.
Let me see if the recording's done. Ugh, it's still processing. I wonder if it maybe won't finish processing until after the meeting stops. I don't know.
Trying to remember if that was a feature or not.
Although I did it from a co-host machine, and then I just left the meeting from that co-host machine. So
Right.
maybe
And it should be downloading whatever you told it to record when you did the
Yeah.
local record, right?
no, I didn't local record.
I don't think it works that way. I'm pretty sure I've done. That's all I do is record the house of worship experiences on several machines, and I have to leave the meeting on the machine that I started the recording on.
Yeah, so that's what I just did. So maybe I'll have to show it to you all next week, I guess. But
I thought you recorded to the cloud, David.
I did.
Right, in which case it just goes in a list and it'll turn up when it turns up.
Oh, okay.
And will
Right.
probably take longer because it's in a
Right.
queue now, whereas if you did it locally, it would process as soon as you ended, as was said.
Right. Good call. Thank you.
That's okay. I've wasted up all night for recordings as well, so I got used to that.
Just a quick, not really similar to Ecamm, SPX Graphics. SPX Graphics is great. It's an amazing graphics program. It's really not. Ecamm is a whole different sort of ball of wax in many ways.
Absolutely, it is not. SPX is for, I would say, normal people. Not any of us, and I'm not trying to be funny about it, but it is a fantastic application, I think, for people who like have a small business and they don't have all the bells and whistles, and they just want to be able to create something that's reasonably interesting. If you have a small business, house of worship, you know, a personal small business that doesn't have the resources to have all a graphics team to be able to do everything that you need to get done. But if you're just a regular person, you can't make any comparisons with SPX, with Mimo Live, Ecamm, vMix. Those are professional graphics tools. But I will say that SPX is being used by office hours. Now, what version of it is, what version that they are using, I'm not sure, but I know that now office hours has all of the other things going on to vMix and the other high-end production value things going on, but SPX is a part of the graphics that they share.
And of course, too, that now that Andy and the Liminal Group have made their own graphics related software as well, that is also something else too. John, you mentioned that you wanted to show after Tony was finished. Tony, you are finished, by the way, your demo?
I'm done.
All done. Cool. John, go ahead then. You were mentioning that you could show us a little bit more of what you're thinking about.
There are quite a few graphics packages out there. I agree. SPX is good. Here to Record has got a good graphics package. But what I'd rather like to do is tell you how they do it. And maybe some people out there in the great wide yonder will be inspired to do their own. Because, as Tony gives an example, there are so many different uses for just popping a few graphics on the screen that no one package is ever going to give us all the features. So developers, here's your chance. Tony wants good stuff for churches. So if you can beat SPX, get on and do it and cut the cost for him as well. Give him a free version. He deserves it. So I am running my app that does everything because it's easy just to have it in one app. And I've got programmed in here some really basic features. So I'm running in camera mode. And when I'm in camera mode, that means that what I put on the screen is going to be with me. So you can see I've got a little lower third here. And I can make myself appear and disappear. And I can make that bit of graphics appear and disappear. Now, for those that don't like being impressed, that little box that's appearing, it's just a web page with a box with a background. That's all it is. That's all this whole environment is. Think of your camera. Each of you have got a camera. Think of each of your cameras as a web page. And if you know where the companies that Tony talked about, where they came from, before Zoom, they had these packages to do graphics, lower thirds, and all these wonderful things. And you could add them to vMix and all these other programs. But if you then rewrite them inside Zoom, this window that I'm sitting in now becomes my graphics area. And I can add graphics to this just as I would design a web page. So animations, text scrolling up, images coming in and on, like Tony showed, you can create them all inside a web page. Look, I've even got a little message at the bottom. Can you see my little message at the bottom? Which I can...
Yeah, we see command, no command, message sent. John,
Yeah.
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so that's
It's
just
a little
feedback
small for
piece.
the YouTube audience, but that is what that says if you actually full screen the YouTube video. Go ahead,
Yeah,
John.
and that's just a message coming back from the little buttons, because I've just got a set of buttons here I can do. So I can turn myself off and on. But what's really weird is I can choose where I want to be. So the message that I had has disappeared. Actually, it hasn't disappeared. What I've done is I've drawn my video in front of it. If I make my video disappear and then reappear behind it, those graphics are now over me. So I can increase that, which is what these other apps do. So you create some set of controls, and those controls can then build little HTML, little boxes and images, and you can put them all around the screen, even over your own face, wherever you want them to be. And if we're going to name drop some products, let's name drop the new thing coming from the Liminal guys, which is the new production version. That's doing the same thing. In principle, it's doing the same thing. The only difference is that they're going to be getting hold of chat, so they can put chat boxes in. Now, these apps can't do chat boxes very easily because in this little environment inside Zoom, you can't talk to chat as easily as you might think you can. But anything that you can imagine, Tony, that you could build on a web page, whether it's static or animated, these apps could support that. So if you can persuade them to put your content, your words of your, I don't know what you sing now, I'm too old. I mean, in my days it was hymns, but I mean, hymns and songs, whatever you're singing, whatever you're celebrating, if you want to put your prayers, if you can make it scroll as text on the screen, then there should be somebody out there who can then make it an overlay and you can see it. And what you can do, which is really neat, but I can't remember which button or which app I did on it, you can actually resize me. So my video is taking up the whole screen, but actually I could resize my video so I was in a corner and then I could leave the rest of the screen to be controlled by the web pages. So there is absolutely oodles of mileage in this environment that people can work in and people can play with. And I've got nothing more to say about the ones that have done it already, that they have got great apps. They have done great apps. And it's wonderful that it's now inside Zoom because, as Tony said, you don't need a third-party program like Ecamm because these web pages are sitting inside the environment of Zoom.
It's very cool. Thank you for sharing that, John.
That's okay. I'm a developer myself. I'm developing tools around this, but there are so many different things you could do with this that I'll never take the whole market. So I'm quite happy for other people to join in. And the more ideas we come up with, we just got to get developers to develop the apps for those things. And there's even more clever things, but I won't go into that because it gets a bit complicated and I need to demonstrate it before I can really talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely, if there's any other questions related to this week's updates from Zoom, definitely let us know because we're definitely doing questions and answers here. So if there's any question and answers that you would like the panelists to talk about, we'll do that and let me know in the YouTube chat. Go ahead, John.
I've got a question.
You do?
Mike, yeah. Mike, when I'm creating my events in Zoom events and I've got the names of all the speeches and the times and the speakers, it just takes me hours to put that into Zoom. And then I show it to the people that I'm going to do it for and they say, oh, we're not going to do that now. Is there a better way? Maybe a better way of doing that?
There is.
Really? Tell me.
Tell you. As David is testing to see if he should come in or not. Yeah, sorry, David's testing. Sorry, the answer to that is yes. This week, the Zoom events team let us know that there's a new functionality now that you can actually bring in the, let me get the term properly here now. Oh no, that's the other major one, which was the, correct. Did I write that one down, John? I'm looking at it.
You wrote down the title, the time and date, and the name of the speaker. I think that's what you wrote down because that's what the AI can bring in.
Right, that's correct. Yeah.
So if you've got an event, it's if you got an event and you're completely like, oh my God, where do I start? It's a lovely way. It's a lovely thing to do. Just give a text document to the AI and it builds the basic functions of it straight away. I love it. I love it. And of course, they're going to add more as they get the AI, train the AI to understand the other content. But I think it's great.
Correct. Yeah. So Josh actually this week actually showed us a demo of how you could actually, he actually uploaded an actual CSV, John? It was a spreadsheet, right?
I think it's just pure text.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but not PDF.
Not PDF. It can't, PDF. Their AI can't read PDFs.
Right. So it was just a literal, that's right. It was just a text file. It was just a TXT file for most of everyone. So if you had a TXT file that you got from your client as a production, that you would have already all your panelists information and a bit of their bios and stuff like that, all in this text document, you could actually then upload that to the Zoom Events platform within the hub.
You
John,
couldn't
within the
upload
actual
the
main-
bios. You could only upload as of yesterday, or when it was day before yesterday. You could only upload the name of the session, the date and time, and the name of the speaker. You couldn't get the description in there, but that's next on their list.
Right.
And if you've got the speakers in there, then if you've got the speakers already stored in your hub because they're regular speakers, you can link to those speakers very easily. But what I like is that blank page scenario. You've got this event, you know, you want to do these things on a certain day, and you don't know what it's going to look like, you don't know where to start, and this tool allows you to pull it into Zoom, and immediately you've got your hub events set up with all the schedule on there, and you've got something to work from. You've got something to then just pick up and take it to whoever's organizing the event with you and say, right, this is what it's going to look like. What are the information we've got to build this out? You've got something to start with, and I like that, because starting
Yeah.
from scratch is always the hardest.
Exactly. And that has been a big ask to the Zoom events from the Zoom events community, and it's been implemented. So yeah, so there was other quick ones that I did write down from the meeting this week. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes as everybody looks at me looking down. And no, I don't have it on my teleprompter, Tony, if that's what you're asking me, which I probably should have. But smart session uploads and multi-session event only. John, you want to chat about that one? So smart session upload. Is that what we were just talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So we did have that. Okay. And then the next one was John's favorite that he's been asking about, but it's only for multi-session only. John, did you get your promo codes?
Still not an API.
It's not in the API, but you got
Still
promo
not in the
codes.
API. I want it in the API. I have a competing product to their bring it all in automatically. Actually, it's not competing because it's different. It's actually nice that they're doing that. But I have a scheduling program which I created for Toastmasters International. Praise be to them, the organization. When I did their conferences 5 years ago. And I had to create we had about 30 sessions in the first version, and a year later we had 5. We probably had as many sessions, but then we had five tracks running at the same time. And to schedule all of that and organize all of that got so complicated that in the end I wrote an app to do it, because it was just, it was, and this of course was when all we had was Zoom meetings. We didn't have Zoom events 5 years ago. So I had to write it all and schedule it all out, and you could move sessions up and down, and they shuffled everybody else. I'm going to resurrect that program again, because that would allow me to organize Zoom better, but I can't put promo codes in. I can only put tickets. But promo codes are getting better. So when they do eventually end up in the API, they're going to be even more useful. But
Right. So the next one that I have that I wrote down was custom captions. And again, I was thinking of Robert with this one, custom captions for Simu Live events. So this would be in a format of VTT that's the only format they're accepting right now is the VTT. And this would allow you to download, edit, or re-upload. So should Zoom not have done a great job with the VTT of the actual translation during when you actually recorded it locally, you could actually go in, edit it. So if there were certain terms like tech terms that didn't come out properly in the actual closed captioning when it was done live or when it was being recorded, that can be edited. So you can also download them should you want to archive them and re-upload. So again, if it was really bad, or if you downloaded and you wanted to do modified locally, you could do that and then re-upload it. John,
and the fact that it's multilingual, and it's multilingual as well. That's right. So you can do the Simulive in multiple languages with captions. That's very cool.
Right, and again, that's only with Simulive in if part of the vets
Yeah.
package. Right. Okay. All right. And another one that I wrote down again, this is again related to multi-session. Yeah. So there, as Josh was making a comment that there was a lot of multi-session updates this month. This one was speaker UI. I'm trying to remember that one, John. You remember that one? It was the speaker user interface. I wrote down.
Yeah, they've got the little modals, as he calls them,